wide open, hoping for a little taste of that unknowing. Living in a fast car, living in a fast car days.
All right. Welcome to our very first live edition of Checkers, Wreckers, and What the Heckers. My name is Chad Bearden. I'm a country music artist, content creator, and NASCAR super fan. Thanks to the Old Armor Beer Company for allowing us to take over their stage. We are going to have an incredible show for you tonight. Let me get my co-host on the stage for you. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up and hide your whys, because storming onto the stage like a human hurricane powered by Busch Light and bad decisions is a man whose hair has more volume than most pop stars and whose ego is somehow even louder. He's the only guy who's ever gotten kicked out of a Waffle House and offered a job in the same night. He's the reigning defender and undisputed follicle phenom, the Ohio Outlaw from Haas Factory Team. Y'all make some noise for Rick Kojan. All right, all rise and raise your right hand. Court is now in session and chaos is on the docket. He's the chief officer of horsepower, the gavel-throwing outlaw of pit road, and the only man who's never sustained an ejection but has sustained plenty of hangovers. From Hendrick Motorsports, the Honorable Chris Supreme Court Justice. It's going to be a good night. Thanks for coming to hang out with us. We want to say thanks real quick to our sponsor, Cord Buddy, who keeps us on the interwebs every single week and brings our live shows, and this is our first one. Do us a favor, check them out, chordbuddy.com. That's CHORD buddy.com. If you've ever thought about learning to play guitar, they make it super easy, super simple. You get the Cord Buddy. We actually have one here. You put it over the neck of your guitar. It's color coordinated. You just press the tabs, the color coordinated tabs, and you're learning to play hundreds of your favorite songs on day one. Go ahead, Ricky. It is not a cheat, though. You're actually learning to play this. And the better you get with the strumming patterns, those tabs actually pop off, and where your fingers are on the guitar strings, you're actually playing real chords. He's going to pretend, he said. Like this? Yes. Good job, Ricky. Good job. Do we have a guitar? No, but you're playing an excellent air guitar. Y'all make some noise for Rick Kojan there. Check out our buddies at chordbuddy.com. Y'all, we are so excited. We are in Kannapolis, North Carolina. It is Roval weekend here in North Carolina, and we could not think of a better guest if we're going to do a podcast here in Kannapolis. We are excited to introduce this guest for you. Are you ready? Yes. That sucked. Let's make some noise. I said, are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your beer with both hands, because tonight's guest isn't just built for horsepower, he's built for hell raising. This man spent more time behind the wheel than most of y'all have spent playing with your remote control, and he's not just slinging a stock car sideways. He's knee-deep in the woods, chasing trophy bucks, wrestling catfish the size of small children, and fending off the Wicked Witch of the East with nothing but a dip can and a death stare. He's the kind of guy who can drop a deer at 200 yards, gut a largemouth bass with one hand, and still have time to shut down a data center before happy hour. A man who proves that Earnhardt isn't just a name, it's a freaking lifestyle. Buckle up, crack a cold one, and give it up for our backwoods buddy, the horsepower hunter himself. Kerry freaking Earnhardt is in the house, y'all. My reading skills are struggling today. Have a seat, boys. Let's get started. Thanks for doing this. We appreciate you being here. Let's make sure your mic's unmuted. Are you unmuted there? I don't think so.
Here. All right.
There we go. There we go.
Yep.
Can you all hear Kerry? Thanks for doing this. Thanks for being here. We appreciate your time. We appreciate everything that you do for this town and for this sport and for the legacy you keep going. And we want to talk about that. We want to get into your story, the whole thing, and what you're doing now. So thanks again for being here and doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And I can't do all this here in Kannapolis without the help of the guys here at Old Arbor Beer Company and local Patriot Roasting Company. They put a lot of effort into this to make it all happen, and I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Yeah. So if anyone happened to spend their whole life under a rock,
Right.
You happen to be the son of Dale Earnhardt.
Yes.
And so I want to get into your story just a little bit, and we'll start back from your childhood. So you spent the first few years of your life not growing up in the house with your dad, right?
Correct. I grew up here. It's right down the road, a little place called Enidville, which is part of Kannapolis. Went daycare, went to Enidville Elementary, Corey Life, and all that. And when I was in Corey Life Junior High, is when I found out who my dad was. I had a great father raising me, Jack Key. He was wonderful. I had a great life with him, learned a lot, and fishing and golfing. He was a big golfer. I'm not, but I enjoyed learning the stuff I did with him. And fast forward, I was at a ball game. I played ball here in Kannapolis, and this woman was always there with these two little girls watching, and I was like, man, that's kind of weird. And one day I was walking and back to the car, put my glove and bat and stuff up, and this lady comes up and says, Kerry Dale? I said, yes. She says, I'm your mama, Martha, and this is your cousin Jennifer and Ashley. I'm like, okay. And so we talked, and I went on, and I told my mom I met these people, and that's when we had the sit-down story, and she was telling me the whole spiel about how things happen.
So at some point, you go to visit your mama, right? And if I remember the story right here and you tell it, your dad's out back working on a car, correct?
Yes. So through all that time, I really not got to talk to them except for at the ball games. And at some point, I don't remember how old I was, my mom was friends with my uncle, Danny, and Sherry, his wife, that I didn't know that they were, my family. They were just friends. They would do a lot of things together, but they had set it up to where we'd go to Danny's and Sherry's house to call Dad for the first time to speak to him. So we did that, and it was an experience, first time ever speaking to Dad. And it was on the phone, which is kind of odd, but it was what opportunities I had, so I took it. And then when I turned 16, I told him whenever I got my license, I'm going to drop my mom off, and I'm going over to my mama's and meet my dad. And so I pulled up my mama's and pulled in front of the house. The garage is behind it. Went inside, talked to my mama, and we sat there. It was probably about 2 hours before I built the courage to walk out the back door to go to the garage. And when I walked in, opened the door, walked in, it got quiet. You hear everybody laughing and tools and everything. It got quiet. You hear you hear a feather drop. And Dad's back there, hey son. I'm like, hey man, what's up? And come on, let's go riding. So we went rode around and kind of caught up a little bit, and our relationship grew from there on, and it was great to reconnect and get our relationship back. I didn't look anything negative of what all happened. I'm one that thinks things happen for reasons, and if it was meant to be, it was meant to be, and it was meant to be. We had a great life together. Him and my dad that adopted me, Jack, and he was not for me seeing my dad or getting to know my dad, but after it all got going, him and Dad got to be together a lot. My dad, Jack, my adopted dad, Jack, would come over. He would be my crew chief on my late model. So we'd go over to the race shop and work, and I'd end up being the only one working because him and Dad would go off back on the farm riding around, talking. So they had a good friendship they built up, and it was quite an experience, and I'm privileged to be able to have that in my life and feel that and be part of that.
So it sounds like you were, like, you brought everybody together. They kind of all rallied around you.
I never looked at it that way. I guess so.
Good job, Chad.
So, yeah. So at some point you mentioned you started racing. You started out in a late model. How did that happen?
Well, actually we started out in street stock. Before that, my first wife and her brother, he was into dirt racing, and we'd kind of go up to Gastonia, Carolina Speedway in Gastonia. And, I drove a dirt car up there, and I stunk. I mean, I just couldn't drive a dirt car. And so later on, as me and Dale Jr. got to know each other now, we ended up living in a modular home across the road from the Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, and we're sitting there looking at these street stock, these magazines reading about street stocks and everything, and he's like, man, I got a go-kart, I can sell that. And I was like, man, I got a little cash back. I said, we'll probably get us a car at a junkyard. And lo and behold, Wayne's Automotive, Doug Wayne was good friends of my mom and my adopted dad and everything. So I went out there and said, Doug, man, I want to buy a car to make a street stock car out of. He said, well, I got one in mind. So we went back there. It was a Monte Carlo, 79 Monte Carlo. And he's like, here, take this one. As long as you put my name on the car, you just take it. So we took it and we got it to the shop there. And sitting there looking at the car, and Dad comes by, what y'all doing? I said, we're going to make a street stock. We're going to start racing street stocks. He said, I got to go back and forth. Don't touch that car. And I was like, man. As he left, I told Dad Jr., I said, I think he's going to try to keep this car. So we start busting the glasses out and everything. He's like, he ain't going to get this car. So we busted all the glasses out, and it ended up being a lot of fun. Dad showed us a lot of ropes and things to do, and helped us. He built the car, I'm going to say, because he did all the work. And you get in there and try to do something, he'd get out of the way, this is how you do it. So it was a lot of fun for him too.
Yeah. So you end up. I got some stats here. You tell me if these are right. So you ended up running ARCA trucks, Xfinity or Bush, whichever one. And Cup. But
12.
So 11 ARCA races, 27 truck races, 72 Bush, and 7 Cup races. Does that sound right?
Yes.
That's
it. That's fun. Good times.
Yeah, so tell me about some of those kind of memorable experiences.
So,
and we got a couple cars up here.
Yes. So as like I said, I started out in street stocks, and then I run a Goodies Dash car, and I'm bad at 8 years right now. But anyway, I went from street stocks in Concord Speedway, like a half-mile oval with dog leg in it, to Daytona International Speedway running a Goodies Dash car. You talk about quite this thrill and being scared, that was it. I was there and doing my practice runs, and Dad's like, come over there. He said, you don't hold it down flat foot next time you go out, so you coming out of the car. I said, all right, you paying for it. So I went out flat footed, and man, what a thrill it was. And so I went from Goodies Dash to late models, and we ran late models 4 years. In 1999, I ran the Chandlock car, number 40 Chandlock car with Doug Taylor Motorsports. And that was my first Bush car. And we ran that, and it was kind of hard. I struggled quite a bit with that team. And finally, I just was like, you know what, this ain't for me. I just walked away and went and sat with Dad at the race shop in his office. And man, so I want to drive for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. I want this opportunity. Whether it's a go-kart, lawnmower, I don't care. I just want to race something for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. He said, well, I've been waiting for you to come talk to me. He said, I got an idea. And that's when the ARCA series came about. We ran some of the old Cup cars that we had in storage. We took them out, and I was scrounging parts and pieces from the warehouse, and I'd be, Uncle Randy, where we got this? And so we went out and we ran 11 ARCA races the first year, won 7 of them. Finished second in one of them in Daytona, stunk. I don't remember what happened in Daytona, it just wasn't a good day. And then the following year, I can't remember how we ran the following year, and then, we won a lot that year. That's a lot of fun. And then things happened with Dad. We had a calendar set out in December of 2000 of all the races I was going to run in 2001, and it was like 40-something races I was going to be racing. And of course, things happened at Daytona, and that kind of put a hold on all my schedule for 2001. And fast forward, I met Mondo Fitz and got talking with him and started driving the 12 Busch car, and it was Fitz Bradshaw racing, Terry Bradshaw.
Yep, I do too.
A lot of fun. That guy was nuts. He's insane. And
Which one?
both, but Terry was a lot more fun to be around.
Yeah, Terry was a blast.
Yeah, so I raced that for 2 years, and then ended up going to trucks, ran some truck races for Billy Blue Motorsports. And,
Another wild man.
yeah, I ran that for a year, number 13 truck. No, that wasn't 13, I'm sorry, 13 truck. I ran for Billy Blue for a year, and I went to Thor Sport Motorsports in Ohio and ran the 13 truck there. And during that time, I was running some Busch and Cup races for Richard Childers. I ran 4 Cup races with Richard Childers. I ran 2 Cup races with Dad. One was at Michigan and one was at Charlotte. I can remember Michigan was the best fun I had. I actually out-qualified Dad and had him take a provisional starting position. But it wasn't long I seen him go by me. So it was a lot of fun.
So was there ever a thought once you turned 16, once you knew your dad, that
Same.
racing would not be the thing for you?
Well, growing up, I really didn't think about racing. I had, hot rods. I had some Chevelles and Palas and some old trucks that I fixed up and, street raced with on the roads. And that was back when I was in high school. I guess my racing thoughts never really came around until I started getting to know Dad. And I guess I just started feeling it, and wanted to start driving and trying it out.
So that day in the garage hit that bug for you, and you got that itch to drive. Started in that meeting in the garage, and you took that road trip to play catch up.
Yes. Yeah, that was the start of it. Just seeing being in that atmosphere, just kind of like, oh wow, I think I fit here. It's kind of.
So prior to that, we could drop back a little bit when you was playing the baseball. What positions did you play?
I play catcher, pitcher. I like my outfield, right field, and left field. I love them too. I did play shortstop.
I respect those catchers.
And my adopted dad, he was my coach. He coached every baseball team I played for.
So you didn't really follow racing per se
No,
at
sir.
that time?
No,
No, you didn't.
never even watched it.
Never.
I never did. I was always into sports and football, baseball.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So as you were getting in racing and you're trying to make those connections and kind of carve out your own path into what you're doing, how did you feel about carrying that Earnhardt name? Did you feel like it was an advantage for you? Did you feel like there were times that it was a weight?
I'm never one to use a name for advantages. When I started racing, I was a key. My adopted dad, Jack Key, and I was a key. And then as things progressed, Dad got talking to me about how things would be better and easier if I would change my last name back to Earnhardt, and it would be a big help. So we talked for a while about that, and I finally agreed to it, and it was my birth name. So I felt that I probably should go back to my birth name, and I talked to my dad, Jack, about it, and it was a struggle for him, but he understood, and he was supportive of it. I never looked at having to live up to the Earnhardt name. I just lived up to who I was and tried to do the best I could.
Yeah, obviously you and I, today's the first day we met, but we got to talk on the phone a little bit, and obviously I know who you are and have a huge amount of respect for you just through seeing what you've done. But one of the coolest things to me that just gave me a huge amount of respect for you is kind of some of the things that you've done to defend that name. So you started a home building business, a construction business.
Yeah, well, we didn't start one. We kind of partnered with the largest custom home builders in the U.S. That's Schumacher Homes.
Right.
Me and my wife started partnerships with them and created home designs. We had 13 home designs with them, and we went with them because we got to go in and meet them. They opened all the books. They didn't hide anything, and it was all family. All their family worked in there, and it was a family-run business, and that spoke volumes to me, touched me because I'm about family, and it just made it an easy step, and it was a great partnership. It's been going for 12 years now, and it's been a lot of fun.
Right.
From driving race cars to designing homes.
That's a big jump.
It's good. It's a good
Yeah.
trip.
But so one of the thing about that though was you ended up, there was a lawsuit over that, right? And you had to go out and fight for your name. And still to this day, you won that lawsuit, but still to this day, you're fighting to defend that name in multiple ways, right?
Yeah. We started Earnhardt Collection and tried to trademark it, and that's what threw the red flag. And she filed a lawsuit, and we fought and numerous times back and forth for 8 years. And finally, they just said that no one could trademark the Earnhardt name. She can or I can't, but we could still use it. So we continue to use it today. But during that time, I trademarked Earnhardt Outdoors. Whether it went under the covers or what, she didn't see it. So we have that trademark now. So we do a lot of stuff under Earnhardt Outdoors and all our home stuff with Earnhardt Collection.
So tell us about Earnhardt Outdoors. What is that?
Well, Earnhardt Outdoors is a missions to get young generations coming up in the outdoors, whether it's hiking, kayaking, canoeing, swimming, whatever it is, just to get them outdoors away from the iPads and tablets and TVs, and just to understand what life holds for you. Behind that thing, I'm saying, I do look at Facebook and all that stuff, but I'm not glued to it. I just go in there and scroll through to see what has been posted about our businesses and stuff, and comments, and maybe some stuff I'm involved with, like with organizations that do things for veterans and first responders. We make posts on that to try to generate eyeballs to notice us. But after that, I just put it down. And, I see people in the car, couples together, and riding down the road and not talking because one's on their iPhone, sitting there. And I'm like, man, am I not
That's what
good?
we become.
I thought we liked each other, but it's
Chad,
just become our life. And
I'm really interested in your podcast, Chad. It's really good.
Yeah, this is the anti-social media.
I'm not on anything.
No swiping guy right here.
Really,
I'm not on any social media.
That's
You don't
awesome.
need to be. This is social media right here.
yeah, it is. For businesses, I disagree. You have to have social media for business.
That's true. I don't own a business.
Yeah, and so
I barely own my own life, I'll be honest with you. Seriously. I'm
And
just
so
trying.
That's our goal, is to get generations, younger generations in outdoors and enjoy life and what God's created for us, and get out of the tablets and iPads and TV and make friends besides your phone.
I like that.
See, Chad? He's basically saying step away from that
Yeah.
and come out and greet people and be charismatic and make relationships. What do you think?
Why are you telling me?
Because you make fun of me for not being on any social media. Always.
All I say is try to help us out, bro.
I can't.
It's on the show. I mean, how much more you want? But
Anyways,
so through that, and we got to. I've known Kyle's dad for a long time, and he called me up one day and said, "Hey, we need to do some business. We need to talk about some things because they're wanting to. They had a goal of $100,000 a year to donate to foundations and stuff like that. And he called me up and said, hey, we're looking at donate to Kerry Earnhardt's foundation. What's your foundation? I said, well, I don't have a foundation. I run a junior rodeo association, but they're 4-year-old to 18-year-olds, so that's not going to work. He said, well, let's just come up here and talk. And so we got to sit down with Kyle Steffen, and it was probably about 3-4 hours we sat and talked, and here we are with Earnhardt Outdoors ale and alt beer.
Nice.
So,
Nice. Well, cheers to that.
Cheers.
God, we're
Yes.
allowed to drink on a podcast. How about
Yeah.
that?
Since when have you not
But y'all
drinking
not
a
supposed
I
to.
drink on all of our podcasts, every damn one of them, and I don't care. And now I'm going to drink this on our podcast.
And it's I was told by Stefan, it's the only officially licensed Earnhardt beer on the planet.
It sure is. We did a wheat beer at a mango IPA, but this Earnhardt Outdoors Ale, and this is like a copper ale. It's they're strongest on the market. We've gotten into the food lines thanks to Kyle and Stephen for all their hard work doing all that, and everyone else involved. We're in 22 food lines right now and growing, so that's pretty exciting. We've been in Lowe's Foods. Hey man, how you doing? We've been in Lowe's Foods, and it's been a great partnership. They're a lot of fun guys to hang out with, and you get to drink beer. I mean,
Sounds
We're in the
perfect to
life.
me.
and so from that, grown into partner with local Patriot Roasting Company. So we have Earnhardt Outdoors Coffee. It's a medium roast, and it's awesome coffee. And they also have some specialty drinks in store that you can purchase, where you get to drink it, and it's hot and cold. And then we've met this couple with Old Town Soap Company that we're here in Kannapolis. They're in China Grove now, and we have a men's home and body line. It's got beard oil, shaving cream, body sprays, soap bars, candles, shower bombs. That's the thing right there, shower bombs.
Do you make some conditioner that'll work on hair like that?
No, not conditioner. No.
You got to get some conditioner
We
for.
ain't got that far yet.
I got plenty of products at home. I'm doing all right so far. Give him time. He develops it. I'll use it.
Yeah, so that's some of the great partners we have become partners with and got to grow with and know. And it's about people from my town that support and try to bring recognition to. So besides that story, there was another battle with her over a data center. I don't know if a lot of them's heard about it, but there was a data center being built on some of Dad's property that he had, and it wasn't an area for a data center. And we fought that first started with the county, then went to town, and we fought them and finally won. And like I said, the last interview me and my wife did, I didn't do any speeches at these meetings because I would say stuff that I didn't need to say and wouldn't want to say in public. So I just wrote my speech and emailed it. And so at before the last meeting, me and my wife made a video because we had all these CNN, NBC, ABC, everybody calling wanting interviews, and I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm doing an interview, and it's going to be an interview on our terms, where you can't take an interview and splice it here and there and make it not what it is. So we made that video and posted that video, and in that video I said, if my name speaks volume, I use it where it needs to be used. And it was in that data center when I used my image and my heart to fight against that data center. And so at that meeting, the mayor and the commissioners told me that story touched them so much, they were on the fence, but it really made them go to the right direction for us.
That's cool.
It's cool.
That's awesome.
So, and that's why if I can help,
That's a good story.
if I can help companies in my hometown grow the best I can. I mean, they do a lot I have no idea about, but if I can help them with my name to grow and businesses grow in my town, I'm all about it. And that's why I'm here today.
Well, we appreciate you showing up today.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You got back in the car a couple months ago, right?
Gosh, I wish I hadn't. Yeah, so Bob Shack, he was a racer back in the day and raced in ARCA and everything. and I got to know him in the ARCA series. Well, he started this Grand National Super Series. It's like old. It was like old Cup cars, but now has become super lates basically. And I'd been talking to him, and he'd been wanting me to race and everything. And I finally decided I was going to go race Tri-County. And so we set everything up, and they have a practice the Friday before the Saturday race. Well, rain was supposed to be on Saturday, and he canceled the race, but we still go test. So I said, all right, I'd like to go test just to see what I've got. And like I said, I shouldn't have done it because I had fun. And there may be some races in the horizon.
There you go.
Next year.
That's awesome.
That I ain't talked to my wife about yet, though. And I got to get it lined up. I know I've got the Grand National Series anytime I want, so I will be doing a few races.
We'll have to come out for that.
Definitely support.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, my first race I started at, besides Concord because it's not there no more, was Hickory Motor Speedway. And whenever I went tested at Tri-County, the producer there come down and said that they were guaranteeing 5,000 plus people coming for that race. So, it made me feel good. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get back to where I started and the track that supported me.
Yep.
So Hickory will be my first race if they make it the first race of the Grand National Series schedule.
That's cool. So, how has it been for you to watch your children race now?
It's pretty cool. I hadn't been as much involved in a while because the next story we'll talk about. It's just neat to see them out there. I always try to follow them and help them as much as I can. My oldest one, Jeffrey's running, he's running the Xfinity Series, limited races. And my oldest one, Bobby, he ran 2 ARCA races so far. So he's trying to get back in also. It's pretty neat to see this.
Yeah, so it's cool to watch the lineage continue.
Yes.
From our side, so I can only imagine for your side.
Yeah, it continues to carry the name on, and just see what happens from here with the grandchildren.
It's crazy. I mean, I've been in the sport 20 years, and it seems like for 15 to 17 of those 20, there was always an Earnhardt somewhere.
Always.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
Always. Yeah.
Somewhere. It's crazy.
Full time. Yeah. It's definitely dwindling.
Ricky, I know you've got notes, you got questions.
Well, they're in my head because you didn't let me write notes down, so it would have looked awkward.
Like I gave you roles. Go ahead.
No, I'm going back to high school, and this is dropped on you as a high school student. And then personally, I'm curious, how do you manage going forward the family you knew, plus the family that you inherited, plus its legacy that went with it? How do birthdays, Christmas, and things like that go forward for you as a high school student?
Well, it was good. At that time, you don't have birthday parties and stuff like that. So the Christmases were awesome because I had my mama, my grandmother. She was a grandmother, Mama Brown, and that was my mom's side. And I had Mama Earnhardt from the Earnhardt side, and it was a lot of fun. Get to experience the different, I don't know what you call it, but you had, like I said, my mom's side of the family here that we grew up paycheck, had things we needed and maybe a thing we wanted. And then I had, dad's side over here that with the name and
T-shirt sales.
all that stuff. So it was neat to experience and just see the culture difference.
Yeah. And do you have, you mentioned Richard Childress. Do you have any what's the relationship with Richard Childress today?
It's a good relationship. I don't talk to him as much as I have been in the past, just as I moved on. Every now and then I'll text him, especially Christmas, I'd always text him.
Yeah.
Because I always remember sitting there, wow, that kid's a good one.
Holy cow.
Wow, I want them lungs.
Is that what children do? That's why I didn't get one. Holy goodness, God. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. I always remember, being at Dad's house at Christmas morning and pick up the phone and say, Earnhardt here. Merry Christmas, man. I'm drinking a wine, drinking with you. And, that stayed in my mind that every Christmas morning he would call Dad. Dad would call Richard. And so as Dad passed away, Richard started sending my memo flyers every Christmas.
Yep.
Bouquet of flyers. And he still does, did till she passed. And so at Christmas, I'll text him, hey, man, Merry Christmas. I hope you're having a great one. And he'll text me a picture of Montana or wherever he's at. Merry Christmas from Montana. And the snow and all this. But, yeah, he's the one, if I have a situation or anything that I would need some assistance in or someone to talk to, I could pick the phone up and call him and he would be there.
Yeah, so the reason I asked you that question was, you go through the Richard Childress Museum and you see so many pictures of hunting conquests in that outdoors area that you finish as you go through, with your dad.
Right.
And it's clear to me, and thank you for co-signing that, to me, he seems equally as involved in the fight to protect the Earnhardt brand and the Earnhardt name.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Him and Dad had a special bond.
Yep.
That will not be broken no matter what, and he's always continued the legacy. He's doing everything he does, and he's a guy that don't forget.
Thank you, Chad. I'll get back in the corner now. Thank you for giving me my time.
I'm good right now.
So I wanted to ask you about the Earnhardt documentary that came out a few months ago and ask you your thoughts on that.
Awesome, great production. Love seeing some of the old footage. A lot of things in there I've never known about, and a lot of new things I learned. So it was awesome footage. I knew with the people involved that it was going to be a great documentary, no doubt, because they're just far beyond the best production company out there. So I wasn't worried about how it was going to turn out. I just wanted to see what was going to turn out. And there was a lot of chills.
What would you say was the most valuable thing that your dad taught you?
Some people may not believe it, but patience in life and on the track. Patience was his number one lesson that he always talked about in relationships or family or, like I said, at the track. And it's helped a lot. It really has. It took me a while to learn a lot of it. But I finally got there, and it's been a great life.
Patience on track from the Intimidator. I'm just going through my head, and I'm like, patience on track from the Intimidator. Okay.
Yes. Well, you
He
did.
didn't say how long. Or how much.
Yeah.
Right?
1, 2,
Lap and a half.
and then you're gone.
Just rattling the cage, right?
That's it.
So, two-part question for you here. I'm going to ask you to tell me your thoughts on the current state of NASCAR and what you think your dad would think about the current state of NASCAR. And are they the same, or do you think you would see them differently?
Well, I know Dad would be totally against it. He wouldn't want anything to do with the way it is these days, I'm sure, because he was old school and he believed in racing, and racing is about building the cars, making the engines faster, having the best teams out there, having the best guys in the shop working there. And now it's all gone to taking the craftsmanship and the knowledge the guys had, the engineers and everything. It's taken a lot of that out of that. And back in the day, I always hear with my Chevy's gonna beat you a Ford or blah blah blah, and I ain't heard that in a long time. It's just not like it used to be. They all look the same outside the nose and tails now, and that's just not. To me, that's not racing. You're not battling against brands or different body styles. So that's the big difference for me. That's what I don't like about it.
I get. Go ahead, Chris.
I said no more English wheels in the shops. They're all gone.
No, I think it's what I understand now is just pretty much bolt on and zip popper and stuff.
So Craftsman truck obviously uses, that Ilmor engine across the platform. Cup is cup. I understand, right? You're in a box with single source parts. But would you agree out of the 3 series that you think Xfinity is the most throwback and offers the most freedom?
Yes, those definitely. It's a lot like it always been. And trucks are too. Trucks are still pretty decent racing.
Even though the motor, though, is common across the platform.
Yep, it's still decent racing, I think. I just don't. The sport was great to me in my life, but it's changed a lot. And I retired in 2009 because I seen the sport changing, and I lose time with my family, and I lost a lot of time with my boys growing up, and I had a stepdaughter that was growing up, and getting into volleyball and everything, and I was like, it's time for me to just figure out something different and enjoy my family's life now, which I should have enjoyed with my boys, but I didn't get to because I was enjoying racing and supporting a family, and I can tell a difference from the time I ain't having my boys that I've had with my girls. It's made a big difference in our relationships. And then I got a 22-year-old daughter, me and my wife had, and I just wasn't going to miss their life. And I enjoyed it, going to volleyball games, yelling with the moms and fussing with the other mom from another team, dads too, and then watching my daughter grow up rodeoing. My youngest one, she rodeos, so we had a good time, a lot of fun.
You spent some time up the rodeo that was over off Odell School Road there?
Yes, Stegall's. Yeah. That was a cool rodeo because you go there about 7 at 9 o'clock, you was leaving. It was fast paced and done. And it was a lot of fun to watch the kids and the bull riders and stuff. It was a lot of fun out there.
Yeah, I remember working, it was at Stuart Hoster, working with like Two Bear. He would go over there
Yeah.
with the bulls.
Yeah, he had bulls he took over there. So, that's a good guy. And now it's not there no more. He passed away and his wife didn't want to continue it on, so it's not there. Radio's kind of dying sport. It's going away. And, unless you get out, like west somewhere.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chad, going back to the comment about, spending more time with the family and why you stepped away and what you were missing, isn't one of the famous bumpers from the Earnhardt documentary, which you co-signed that you enjoyed and thought was well produced, is Dale Jr.'s comment when he says everything is sacrificed for racing. So when you're in the sport, you sacrifice
You do.
Yep.
I mean, my family, my wife homeschooled our kids, and they traveled with us.
Yep.
But after a period of time, it kind of grows as they start to play sports and stuff. They're not traveling with you no more, so it's just me by myself on the road, and the sport's brutal, and it takes a toll on family, and we kind of seen us growing apart, and things were getting different. So as I seen my girls growing up and not going to be part of that, so that's when it was time to walk away and enjoy, like I said, life and rebuild our relationship to what we had in the beginning.
Yeah, that's cool.
And it's stronger now than it ever has been. So, yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, great woman. She's put up a lot with me. I'll tell you all that. I've tested her nerves and patience and everything. So she's got them.
I feel like my wife is saying amen about me back there.
I mean, every relationship has it.
Actually, she hasn't shook her head yet. Is that accurate? Okay, there it goes. There you go.
That's fair.
A lot of times I wouldn't admit it, but now as I've gotten older, I realize it's important. People have a lot of things as similarities, and I remember talking about being adopted. After that story with my brother and everything, talking about being adopted and all, people out here on the street, guys coming up say, "Man, your story," and tears rolling. Your story touched me so much because our lives are similar.
Wow.
And I'm like, everybody's life's similar in some ways.
Yep.
And if I could be an inspiration for someone, I'd love that opportunity.
Well, I think that you are definitely that to many people in many facets, in many ways. And I cannot tell you how much we appreciate you coming to do this with us. I cannot tell you how much we appreciate your honesty, how much we appreciate you being open and transparent with us, how much we appreciate what you do for the sport, what you do to protect that name, because even though it's not my name or their name, that name means something to us too. And so we appreciate what you do. We appreciate what you do in this community. I live in this community. We have a house 2 miles from here.
I drink beer in this community. Just saying. I'm just saying. It's accurate.
So thank you for doing this. We have loved this so much. This has truly been an honor.
Well, hey, whoa. We ain't got to what I'm doing now.
Oh, let's do that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
You jumped that.
I'm sorry. Let's do. What are you doing now?
Well,
Sorry.
So back to that organization I talked about with veterans and first responders. There's an organization called Battle Scarred Outdoors. Rich Tadero lives right down the road here. I met him here at Old Armor and got to know him and seen what they're passionate is about. And they're an organization that they do a lot of events to raise funds to take veterans and first responders, whether it's hunting, fishing, or just being out in the outdoors, hanging out by the campfire. I've got to know Tim Bates, which runs the East Coast side of it, down in Hatteras area in Elizabeth City. And we just did a fishing tournament back in May. This is our second one. Raised funds to take veterans and first responder offshore fishing this last weekend. The first year we took 42 veterans and first responders offshore fishing. This year we took 55. And that was a great feeling to me. And my vision is to keep growing it. Tim's wanting to kind of throttle back because he feels like it's going to get out of hand and too much to be able to handle. But I think we could do it, and I'm going to push him to do it because it's about getting back to these guys that fight for our country and protect us as serves that we got to give back to them. And so I just wish we had more opportunities to be able to do that. I don't think them folks get enough recognition.
Agreed.
Don't get a lot of things they deserve. I got a lot of friends that I know are fighting certain situations, VA hospitals, government, all this stuff, and it's just a shame that these guys done that, and we just don't support and do what we should do for them.
I agree.
And so that's my fun side of it. And then, so after I retired in 09, I've done things around the house, and I was kind of getting bored. So in February of this year, I started a job as a shop manager at Huntersville Ford in Huntsville, North Carolina. Yes, I said Ford. So I've been having a lot of fun with that. And my fun out of that is helping customers, trying to make the mechanics and advisors better and trying to make the shop better. And we've grown quite a bit since I've been there. And it's a lot of teamwork, don't get me wrong, but it's a lot of fun. I got to know Stacy Cowan, part owner of Huntersville Ford, and I was a customer there with my Ford 450 that I bought for my daughter that rodeoed, and I finally told him, I said, look, man, I'm coming to work for you, have my contract ready, and I've been there since February 3rd, so anybody in the area who has a Ford, come to Huntersville Ford, or looking for a Ford. Yeah,
and ask for the shop manager and see if you recognize them.
Yeah, check me out.
Well, that's incredible.
It's a whole.
You didn't have that. You didn't have that note, did you, Superfan?
I did not have that in the
Yeah,
notes.
that one you didn't have in your in-depth detail analysis.
But I like how he
I'll be
took it
honest,
up.
It's
I like
not
how he
out
took
there.
it up.
That's the first time I've actually talked about working at Huntersville Ford.
Well, see, that's why I didn't have it. And you didn't tell me that on the phone.
No, I didn't. That's why I was a little late getting here, trying to put out fires and.
All of a
Make
sudden, all these
customers happy.
random people are going to go up to Huntersville Ford and be like, yeah, what can I help you with? Do you have an issue with your Ford? No, I drive a Chevy. I'm just here to see Kerry.
Yeah, yeah. I got a die cast. I'm looking to get some.
Yeah, sir. Is he here today?
Yeah, might walk out there buying a car. You never know.
I like it.
So yeah, that's my life.
Well, that's incredible. I love that work you're doing. As a guy who spent 11 years as a cop, both my brothers are still cops. I appreciate that so much. Again, thank you for doing this. I appreciate it so much. Don't go anywhere. We got just a couple minutes. We got another special guest. Rick, you want to bring him up? Y'all, one more time, would you please
Thank
make
y'all.
some noise for
Appreciate y'all
Mr.
coming
Kerry
out tonight.
Earnhardt right
Thank
here.
you, Kerry.
This
Thanks
is
for having me, man.
incredible.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
All right, what we got, Ricky?
You ready?
I'm ready.
So I asked a pointed question of Kerry about, well, you asked the question first about what he feels about present day NASCAR. And I got to be honest with you. I mean, I understand why the Cup Series went the way the Cup Series went. But to me, the Xfinity Series is really where you can still be creative, still make a difference. And I think it's more throwback to old school NASCAR. So
it's a lot of fun to watch.
yeah,
so much fun to
so
watch.
if you're looking for, truck arm suspension and 4-speed H pattern, all the things that are like traditional with 5 lug nuts, then the place where you want to be is in the Xfinity Series. So I kind of learned this year for me, and thank you for this junior mic. It's like perfect down here. I'd like to sit up
it
like this.
also comes out of there. I've been trying to tell you the whole show.
Yeah, well,
take the mic out of
why
the
can't
thing.
why can't it just be up like the rest of the microphones? Why did I get this little junior dwarf
twist
one?
the thing.
I don't know how to do it. I was afraid it was going to fall over.
Jesus Christ.
Can you
on a
still say
motorbike.
dwarf? Am I allowed to say that anymore?
No.
You can't say that? Small person?
Yes.
Okay. Well, don't get mad at me.
Look,
All right.
what's this?
What's what?
Watch this.
Well, why wasn't that done in advance for me? Look at this one. Am I
Because
wrong?
I
Look
thought-
at this. What am
I
I like?
thought you
What am I,
would-
3 feet tall?
I thought you would see this and you would go, oh, I can take it out and hold it.
Anyway, I'm sorry we digress. Sometimes Chad and I get off on tangents. I love him like a brother. Yeah, I love him like a brother.
Would you introduce our guest?
I'm going to introduce our guest. So back to that Xfinity Series. I'm really happy, really humble that my man from what makes that Sam Mayer number 41 Audubell car, that's right, we're in the playoffs, we're like plus 40-some points to the cut. Look at him coming up. Come on. Jason Houghtaling has just come up on stage. You're going to sit down over there. Come on. Watch that. Don't trip over that. Your wife is very nervous about the carpet, the cords.
How about Iowa winning?
Just, I'm going to get to it.
Okay,
I know this is uncomfortable for you that now I'm the host, but just give me some latitude, and I promise I won't let you down. I learned from the best, from you. So, Jason is our engine tuner, and he is the engine tuner on that 41 Audubell Ford Mustang that Sam Mayer drives. And I make a joke about, so what makes that car so fast? The driver or the engine tuner? Jason, what makes that car so fast? The driver or the engine tuner?
Rick, I'm going to let your secret out of the bag. First of all, what an honor to sit in this seat after Kerry Earnhardt, right? I just told Kerry I was lucky enough to work on his K&N car when he drove for Bill McAnally, and I've crew chief both of his sons. So that was a great accomplishment.
That's
I feel
cool.
like. But what makes our Audubell Ford Dark Horse so fast, Rick, is all the downforce information we get from that hair.
Yes.
Oh, so now I see what happened. So Jason came ready for jokes. I came ready for, thanking my teammate and patting him on the back. But he obviously got with Troy and some of our other boys on the 41. It's like, oh, we're going to make fun of Rick. That's fine. Chad makes fun of me all the time. And it is true that if you want my hair in the wind tunnel, I'll go in there so that you can make the car slipperier.
That's right. That's right.
All right. So tell us a little bit about engine tuner and what you do on that 41.
So I take care of all the engine stuff at Haas factory team, not just on the 41 car, but I also do the 00 car of Sheldon's.
Again, another playoff car above the cut line.
Yes, very fortunate to have that. But I am responsible for making sure the engines are installed correctly, everything is put in the way it's supposed to be, and when I get to the racetrack, I take care of making sure that the engine gets through tech with NASCAR and that we don't have any problems, and cool the engines down during qualifying and all that kind of stuff. So it's definitely been a different role for me. I've been a crew chief for the last 15 years, but stepped back into this role, and it's been a lot of fun to make sure that Ford engine cranks up every time we try it.
So tell me about where we stand right now. I'm super excited. I have so much fun on Saturdays. These guys like welcomed me in and made me a part of their family. And Chad already mentioned it. My whole life, I just wanted to be in this sport, not sponsor it like I used to with Sony and Ryan Newman, but be in it, be part of the team. And when we won at Iowa with Sam, I'm telling you, the first win for Haas Factory Team, the first win for Sam, right, at Haas Factory Team, the first win for Ford in this 2025 season. It was so incredible to be up on stage and be part of it, and these guys make me part of the family. Tell me your thoughts on that Iowa win.
Well, the Iowa win was my first Xfinity win. So it was definitely something that it's a feeling that you can't explain. I really don't think you can ever express what the hard work I tell everybody, and when I met my wife, I tell her the hardest part of our business, because it's so ego based, is managing your expectations. We work so hard that we believe every time we go to the racetrack that nobody can compete with us, and we're here to be the best, and that's the ego and passion in you. But you have to understand that there's a lot of other teams that put in the same amount of work. So when you can break through and you can get to the top like that, it was a feeling like none other. I mean, running out there on the front stretch and grabbing a hold of Sam, it was probably one of the coolest things I've ever been a part of.
Yeah, and Sam's great. He embraces it. He does his traditional. He rips that uniform open, and under there is SM for Sam Mayer, but it's in a logo that just looks like Superman, and I've called him Super Mayer. He embraces the sport. He embraces his role within the team, and he embraces his role with the fans. I see that firsthand when I work with them. He just had another. He's 22 years old, I think. Super charismatic, and he understands his role within the sport, which is to be there for the fans and like show enthusiasm, take time, take pictures with them. So tell me, back to Iowa, were you emotional at all?
Oh yeah.
All right.
For sure.
So I was not the only guy releasing my man card because I had tears in my eyes. I kept putting my sunglasses on. I'm like, what if anybody sees me crying? I'm like, that's okay.
They were showing you on the CW. Yeah. You could see you on the CW.
That's all right, but I had my sunglasses on. You couldn't tell I was crying.
You were jumping over the wall before you put your sunglasses on.
so
the bullet was in the wind.
Listen, Jason, am I right? Were we like pit box 1 or 2 on the?
We were pit box 1.
Okay.
Because we had sat on the pole in Indy.
There you go.
And so we were pit stall number 1 with that deal, and we were actually we restarted that. We were running third before that last caution came out, and the side of Sam came out that none of us thought we would ever see. But when he got the chance that restart on the outside, there was nothing going to stop him from. And it was a little different. We're racing around there, and it's different to tell that when the spotter says, "Okay, you got a 1.7 seconds lead. Just slow down." No, let's not slow down. Let's get this over with. I want that trophy, and we were able to get it, so it was pretty cool.
So for me, that number 1 pit box was interesting because when we win and it's time to celebrate, there's also like other rituals that happen, which is like we need to get the victory lane bag for the hat dance. We need beer and something to celebrate with. So I start running from pit box 1, and I run into Sheldon's pit box, which is back up the way up pit road. And apparently I ran into my man Tyler Bullard and Teef and some of the crew members, and I guess they were like, I don't know if I can swear in here. So there were like there's kids in here. There were a lot of like F yeah, and hugging and pounding people and like pulling them off pit wall. I got a little overexcited, but to move to the emotion of getting onto the stage and seeing all you guys and like seeing the effort that you put in, that's what I think fans don't completely digest, because they're driver focused. I get that, but there's so much behind that 41 team, all the way down to Matt Brady, who drives the hauler to get it there.
Yeah, and we've got a great group of guys. We've all gelled. None of us have ever worked together until this year, and we all kind of gelled together pretty quickly, and it's been a lot of fun. But like you said, that emotion is big for everybody, and it's kind of rewarding because it brings the soul of what you've done all week and what you've done all year, right? And like I said, managing your expectations. We're going into this weekend 43 points above the cut line with one car and 12 points above the cut line with another. You are literally one mistake away from things being your whole season.
Especially at a road course. Yep.
You know, one mistake from your world crashing down. So we just have to stay focused. There's been the last couple races, we've probably been in a position where we could have got another win, but base hits were more important, right? Points and making sure that we could get those base hits and have the chance to make decisions was more important than going straight after the win. So the trophy's not always what you need, but it's definitely what you want.
Yeah, I told Sam over text that I think his attitude has been like a thief, like a bank robber, man, just taking stage points and bagging them. 16, put them in your pocket. 16, put them in your pocket. We have been so strong in those stages of these races.
Yeah, I feel that we've been probably the most consistent team in the garage with that this year. There's been a number of times that we've scored 10 to 15 points more than the leader or the winner of the race has. So that's what it's all about. You know, everybody's heard the story of the old bull and the young bull, right? But you just gotta take your time and get there, because the whole end goal is to get to Phoenix. We want a chance. We just have to put ourselves in a situation to be in Phoenix racing for that trophy, right? Not just be there.
So we talked about a longtime crew chief, and now you're an engine tuner, and you're very passionate about what you do. You're very good at what you do. This is a setup. This is called a segue. I think Chad taught me this. This is a segue. Tell us what else you're passionate about and what we have in our hand here. And there's plates, just so everybody sees. Don't get weird. Don't get weird. People are getting weird. Don't get weird.
So I have taken up over the past couple of years. I have taken up the process of smoking and just cooking on a grill that my wife gave me for our wedding present. And her brothers are all competition chefs all over the place.
I didn't know that.
Barbecue master stuff and whatever. So if
a high bar has been set. I didn't know that part.
If I want to be part of the family, I have
family
to be.
function for you was weird at first.
Yeah, right. So it's.
Does your wife have that skill set too?
Oh, she's great at it.
Whoa.
So
internal competition.
When we go somewhere and we've prepared food for somebody, the protein is most generally been prepared by me, and everything else has been prepared by, like, the sides are all prepared by her. But yeah, we and we
sign for their amazing sauce.
Yeah,
whoa.
Yeah. So what you have in your hand is a smoked pork shoulder that I put on. I sent you guys the video. I put it on at 1 o'clock.
I sent them the video, and all the video did. I sent the video. The caption to the video was, you all can thank me later. That's all I said.
I smoked this. I started it last night this morning about 1 o'clock in the morning, and it got done just before I went to work. Worked for a little while.
I was asleep at 1 o'clock in the morning.
And we just broke it apart. So
let's get in it.
Let's get after it.
Hold on, Rick.
Hold on.
Vinegar based
So
or
there's two sauces there. One is like, because I'm from the Northeast. Yes, I know I'm a Yankee, but like hickory barbecue sauce is a big thing where we're from, and down here, vinegar-based sauce is where it's at. So we have one of each that we have made for everybody.
Pass it that way.
I went with the hickory. I already got it. I already got mine.
All right, hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
This one.
Rick was going to wreck that for a minute.
Oh my gosh,
One more.
that's good.
Go ahead, let's do it.
That's
Come on.
good.
See what we got.
Ricky.
Promised you.
Ricky,
What?
that's a good butt right there.
That's a good butt.
It's a shoulder.
Nope, it's a butt. in the
Did you
south.
just say I have good shoulders?
I said that's a good butt right there.
God.
What do you think?
We had this conversation. Ricky had never heard it called smoking a butt.
Yep.
We had this conversation a while back on the podcast, Chris and I, and he said, "What are you talking about?"
I think I grew up under a rock in Cleveland. There's so many things that I don't know, but that's okay.
We'll teach you, Ricky.
You can get there.
Man, come on.
Good job.
Jason, thank you.
Very much. Thank you, guys.
This is incredible. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, y'all. Thank you, Jason, for bringing this. This is incredible. Good luck to the 41 team.
Hell yeah. And the 00.
Rick,
Yes.
one last thing.
Yeah.
Don't ever tell anybody you put your sunglasses on at night because you were crying. You know why I wear my sunglasses at night? The sun never sets on a badass.
Damn.
Sun never sets on the badass.
Damn.
Thanks for hanging out with us
That was
for
the
our
best
first
compliment I've ever had.
live podcast. Thanks to Old Armor for having us. Thanks,
you,
Jason.
guys.
Thank you, Kerry Earnhardt.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank y'all so much.
So I went
That was awesome.
wide open,
Thank you.
hoping for a little taste.